I welcome you all to the 36th Youth Mark Parliament at ZPHS Parvathagiri. I wish this session will be very fruitful and informative. Members to take oath of affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Now I welcome MP from Telangana.
Honorable member, what do you want? Oath or affirmation?
Affirmation.
Which language do you want?
English. I, Akshara, having been elected a member of the House of the People, do swear in the name of God solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, and that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and that I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
I welcome MP from Rajasthan. You want oath or affirmation?
Affirmation.
Which language do you want?
हिंदी। मैं इस मॉक संसद का सदस्य ईमानदारी, निष्ठा और अनुशासन के साथ संविधान के मूल्यों का पालन करने की शपथ लेता हूँ। मैं सत्य, न्याय और देशहित को सर्वोपरि रखते हुए संसद की गरिमा बनाए रखने का वचन देता हूँ। मैं बिना पक्षपात, बिना भय और बिना निजी लाभ के जनता की आवाज उठाने तथा सही निर्णय लेने का पूर्ण प्रयास करूँगा।
Honorable members, the House will now take up discussion on the new education policy 2020. The agenda for today is to discuss and debate the key reforms and their impact on our nation's future. Now, I invite our Honorable Prime Minister to address the House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय और सदन के सभी माननीय सदस्यगण में आज इस सदन में खड़ा होकर देश की प्रगति, विकास और नई चुनौतियों पर अपनी सरकार का पक्ष करना चाहता हूँ। नई शिक्षा नीति एनईपी 2020 हमारी शिक्षा परिवर्तन लेने के लिए क्रांतिकारी लेने के लिए बनाई गई है। इसका उद्देश्य छात्रों की रचनात्मकता, कौशल और व्यवहारिक ज्ञान को बढ़ाना है। अब छात्र 5, 3, 4 के नए सेक्शन के तहत पढ़ाई करेंगे। मल्टीपल एंट्री।
Objection, Madam Speaker. You two also get a chance to talk. Proceed. You continue.
मल्टीपल एंट्री एग्जिट सुविधा मिलेगी। मातृभाषा में शिक्षा को बढ़ावा दिया जाएगा और स्किल डेवलपमेंट पर विशेष ध्यान दिया जाएगा। यह हमारी युवा पीढ़ी को आत्मनिर्भर बनाएंगे। धन्यवाद।
Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I ask the education why the NEP remains only on paper. Where are the funds? Where are the tech figures? Roadmap promised to the nation. Can the minister, you should explain the how 5+3+3 structure will function where thousands of schools still lack basic classrooms. How will foundational literacy labs and experiential learning be implemented without instruction? आप सभी को जवाब देना ही पड़ेगा क्योंकि यह सिर्फ हमारा ही नहीं बल्कि पूरी समाज का प्रश्न है।
Minister of Education.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. NEP 2020 brings a revolution in the education system. The major highlights include early childhood care and education, ECCE, focus on learning through play, ages for 3 to 8. Mother tongue as a medium of instruction up to grade 5. Students will learn in their home. Languages are raised in higher education to pass and continue their studies. Establishment of National Research Foundation to boost research and innovation. This policy promotes inclusivity, technology, integration and Indian values with global standards. सरकार छात्रों के लिए कुछ भी करने के लिए तैयार है। कक्षों में ही देश का भविष्य निर्भर है। जब तक विज्ञान और वैद्य मुफ्त में मिलेगा, तब तक देश सुख शांति से शोभित होगा।
Honorable Speaker, NAP trains we require funds. Will you rise education spending to 4% of GDP as promises? How can such a massive policy run without adequate financial support? You should answer. Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My dear opposition members, listen carefully. No reform can succeed without financial support. The government has decided to raise public investment in education to 4% of GDP, but we will increase the 6% of GDP in the future. We are allocating special funds for digital infrastructure, teacher training, and rural education. Scholarships and loans will be made more accessible, ensuring that no student is left behind due to financial difficulties. The NDP will also encourage public-private partnership in education, and we are implementing every policy in every district, every mandal, every village, and every taluka. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Dear Health Minister, as per last 3 years, there was no regular health checkup in rural areas. How could you implement this program? Minister of Health.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Under the policy, health and physical education will be a mandatory part of school curriculum. Schools are being encouraged to promote sports, yoga, meditation, and hygiene practice from an early age. The Ministry of Health, in coordination with the Ministry of Health, is also working to ensure. Madam Speaker, we are doing regular health checkups for all school children and availability of clean drinking water and midday meals. In school will include mental health awareness programs to help students handle stress and pressure. Madam Speaker, training of teachers to identify early signs of anxiety or health issues among the students. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Opposition. Honorable Speaker, NEP clients world-class teacher training, yet lakhs of teacher posts remain vacant. Why is the government where there are not enough teachers?
Honorable Speaker, national security begins with awareness and discipline. The NEP 2020 includes value, education, patriotism and NCC means National Training Corps, active professional discipline and national pride among students. We are also introducing defense and digital management studies in higher education to prepare youth for civil defense role. This will strengthen our human resource based on national safety.
Mother tongue instruction. Why was the government not prepared textbooks or trainer staff in regional languages? Is the government experimenting on children without preparation?
This foreign visit and how will it benefit our education system directly?
Share the progress of these to study international education models. How will this finding be implemented practically in NEP 2020?
Is the government planning to publish a detailed report of the visit so that Parliament and the public can evaluate its outcome?
Before promoting mother tongue instructor, why has the government not prepared textbooks or trained the staff in regional languages? Is the government without preparation? Minister of Rural Development.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The NEP is way of hope for rural India. Digital classroom, teacher training and mobile learning vans will bring quality education to every village and every taluka. Special emphasis is placed on local languages, folk knowledge and rural innovation hubs.
Students from rural areas will have equal opportunities in higher education and employment. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Education is a concurrent place to subject by very many states, not fully consistent before financing NDP 2020. Why this is centrally decision that should
Any supplementary questions?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. If the government truly encourages discussion and debate, why are members not getting enough time to express their views on important bills? Why are disruption increasing? Is it due to lack of proper planning by the government? Madam Speaker, you mentioned using digital platforms for sharing bill summaries. Can the minister specify when these summaries are actually uploaded? Many members still receive information last minute. What steps is the government taking to ensure that even opposition voice are heard and respected?
Minister of Parliament Affairs.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I thank the Honorable Member for the question. Let me clarify. Our government encourages discussion and debate. However, we are taking steps to ensure that every member gets an opportunity to express their own views. We are also using digital platforms for sharing bill summaries in advance. And the government strongly believes that the Parliament is a temple of democracy. Our ministry has taken several steps to ensure effective coordination between the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. We ensure timely circulation of legislative businesses and promote conscience on key issues before introducing major bills. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Any supplementary questions?
Madam Speaker, what is the total cost of this foreign visit and how will it benefit our education system directly?
Madam Speaker, is the government planning to publish a detailed report of the visit so that Parliament and the public can evaluate its outcome?
Honorable Speaker, I would like to inform this House that a foreign visit by education ministers and officials has been proposed. The purpose of the visit is to study the international education system. During this visit, our delegates will observe new education models and the integration of technology in learning. I request the support of this House for this educational tool. Our goal is to maintain dignity and discipline in the House. The Parliament belongs to every citizen in India, and it is our duty to make it a model of constructive debate and transparent governance. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Main highlights in today's session. 5+3+3+4 education structure. Mother tongue till grade 5. Digital learning and teacher training. Vocational and skill-based education. GER target by 2035. Equal opportunity for all learners. Members, the House appreciates the valuable discussion on NEP 2020. Let us all work unitedly to ensure that education is a true strength of our nation. This discussion is now concluded. The House is adjourned for 15 minutes.
अध्यक्ष महोदय आ रहे हैं।
MP from Haryana. Now session is starts. MP from Haryana.
थैंक यू ऑनरेबल स्पीकर। मैं यहाँ की एमपी हरियाणा अपने भारत का सम्मान करती हुई कहती हुई कि मैं उस देश की नागरिक हूँ जिसके होठों में गंगा और हाथों
We begin today's session with the introduction of a new bill. A new member of the ruling party, Mr. Education Minister, has been assigned to introduce a bill regarding the new education policy.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The new education policies maintain the education more flexible to study. We follow for the people and the people by the people. So we are committed to pass a bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, we shall proceed to the final vote on the new education policy bill 2020. Those in favor of bill will say A. Those against of the bill say no. The A's have it, have it. Have it, have it. The A's have it, have it. Have it, have it. The no's have it, have it. Have it, have it, have it. Now, the bill is passed.
मैडम स्पीकर धन्यवाद सभी को धन्यवाद।